Cork's Red FM.
Yes, certainly you can have optimism because they're as strong a Cork team as we've seen, Paul. You know, the additions they had this year were excellent. There's a lot of good young fellas around the place now that we'll see how they'll come along during the league and come in. So there's a good well of talent from the under-21 successes over the last few years, and they're winners, which is an important thing. But for Cork to win an All-Ireland now, if they're playing Kerry again next year, there's going to be huge question marks psychologically over them, whether they can push themselves over the line or not. You know, I was quite convinced this year that they were going to do it, because looking objectively at both teams, I actually thought Cork were the most talented team, and I still think they were the most talented team. But on the day, Kerry got everything right as usual. All their moves, all their switches, their players, everybody was tuned in and they all delivered on the day. So there is huge question marks over Cork this year to win the All-Ireland. But look, they're as good as what's there, and it's only a matter of time before they do push over the line.
Yeah, do you think anything needs to change for Cork to go that step further next year, Tony? Because, I mean, is it just a matter of guys learning from their mistakes? Because there wasn't a whole lot wrong heading into the All-Ireland final.
No, I don't think that anything was wrong, and maybe that was one of the things, because beating Tyrone in the semi-final, we didn't really know how good Tyrone were, actually, because Cork just blew them away. A perfect performance against the team that we thought would have been there or thereabouts winning the All-Ireland. But maybe Tyrone weren't as good as what they made themselves out to be, you know. There was a lot of... we read now with Mickey Hart's book that there was a bit of hassle with Sean Kavanagh and that maybe he wasn't injured or whatever. It wouldn't have made for a very happy team, and with Brian Doer injured. But having said that, look, Cork are as good as what's there. I suppose what Cork have to learn now is to win. There's a big difference between going out playing well and winning. And it's that winning mentality Cork must have. Whether it's Kerry, Dublin, Tyrone, anybody else, you just got to go out and win. And that's, I suppose, really what Cork must learn to do at this stage. It comes so easily to the Cork hurlers, it comes so easily to the Kilkenny hurlers or Kerry footballers. It's tradition. Whatever tradition is, it's a confidence that makes you believe in yourself. That confidence isn't there in Cork football. Even our team, we played, I suppose, in 5 All-Ireland finals and we won 2. So look, the hurlers, if they played in 5 All-Ireland finals, possibly they'd have won 3 or 4. You know, it's just that confidence or belief, whatever it is lacking a little bit in Cork football traditionally.
Yeah, how would you assess how Conor Coonahan has done over the past 2 years, Tony? He came in for a bit of criticism after the All-Ireland final, but you'd have to praise him for the job he's done so far. It's been excellent.
I don't think anybody can criticise Conor. It's easy to criticise somebody in defeat, and hindsight is a great way of learning lessons. But Conor did very well. He came in a very funny position in relation to the strike, kept his counsel as he always does. He's a very solid, sound individual. Brought them on from there. Really, the first year was quite experimental, and they did very well. I suppose the first year, you can only judge Conor as last year, and look, they got within 10 minutes of winning an All-Ireland final, you know, so it is positive certainly, but I'm sure Conor will put his stamp on it this year as well. After this year, he'll have learnt a lot about his players. He'll have learnt who he can trust and who's a winner and who's not a winner, and there's plenty of talent around the place, and I'm sure Conor will be ruthless in what he does. He's a very quiet individual, but there's a steely determination in Conor, and I know what he wants, and that's to win an All-Ireland.
Yeah, no, the way the draw has turned out for next year, obviously the likelihood is that it'll be Cork and Kerry to meet in the Munster Championship. Next year will obviously be a massive one for Kerry as well, Tony, because I mean they've already lost Tommy Walsh. Ty Kennelly is heading back to Australia as well, and there could be a few more hanging up.
Yeah, David Moore and maybe Darragh O'Shea and all that. But look, it doesn't matter really. Kerry are going to be there they're going to perform well. But I wonder the value of a provincial championship anymore, really. Okay, we've beaten Kerry in the provincial final over the last few years, and all the lads have Munster medals now. But I'm just wondering at this stage, what value is it winning the Munster? You know, how many times a year can you peak? Can you hit your performance levels more than twice in the year? And it's very hard to keep it going. And the gap then between the Munster, winning the Munster and the next round again, does that help either? Are you better off, like Kerry last year, to go through the back door and to get a bit of momentum going into the qualifiers? I'm not sure winning the provincial championship, it's nice to beat Kerry at any time, but I'm not sure winning the provincial final now is an advantage anymore, to be quite honest with you. Maybe you'd be better off, I'm not saying purposely lose a game, but I wonder the value of winning a provincial championship anymore. I really do.
Yeah, do you think that format needs to change, Tony? I heard Mickey Hart saying during the week that there needs to be some kind of an overhaul. Would you go along with him?
Well, certainly there needs to be a look at it, and I know what people are suggesting is the Champions League type format, but you and I know as well, watching the preliminaries in the Champions League is like watching paint dry as well, because there's a certain inevitability about it. I think all you're going to do is, again, guarantee the strong teams are going to win, and the strong teams are going to be there, and the way the format is at the moment, you're guaranteed that the likes of Kerry's, Tyrone's, the strong teams are going to make it to the end of the day, even though Kerry did struggle big time this year against the Sligos and those, but still, I suppose the format where I'd love to see a championship where there's 32 counties, or what is it, London and the rest of them thrown in, and it's a knockout system like it used to be before. It would have a good cut and thrust, and it would be a good way of finding in the end of the day, bring a bit of bite back to the start of the championship. The real championship now doesn't really start till August, till the quarterfinals get going and there's a knockout. The rest really, I wonder about its value. I suppose the value to the provincial councils is they get revenue and they're able to pay for the activities in their provincial in the provinces. But there's no real bite to it really. There wasn't that many good games at the start of the year this year, and it didn't really start till the whole thing kicked off in August.
Yeah, no, I mentioned Ty Kennelly there earlier on as well, Tony. He's been in the news a lot recently because of his comments, I suppose, especially in relation to that incident with Nicholas Murphy in the All-Ireland final. What was your own opinion on those comments?
Well, I suppose it was foolish of Tig, I suppose, but I suppose you have to look at Tig as well, right? He's a professional athlete. Different attitude totally to an amateur. Like Tig was I read the book actually, and it's a very good read. Very enjoyable read. He's a professional athlete in a professional environment. And like he said, I suppose he was upfront about what happened, but that's up to the referee to do something about it. And the referee on the day did nothing about it. Did nothing whatsoever. They didn't even book a player. So listen, that's up to the referee to put the parameters of the game. The players will do what they have to do in the game, and I don't hold it against them at all, to be quite honest with you. He won an All-Ireland medal, and at the end of the day, that's all that counts. I really wouldn't hold it against him at all. I suppose you'd say in a certain way he was naive to come out and say what he did. But listen, he's not the first person to go out in the first 5 minutes to go in and get stuck in and clock a fella, That happens all the time. I don't know what the shock horror is about, to be quite honest with you. I suppose the only thing about it is a certain naivety about admitting that they were going to do it and that he did it. But I suppose that's a professional attitude as well in the way he plays. He's a winner. He's an absolute winner, and he won his All-Ireland medal, and the best of luck to him.
Yeah, and I suppose there's a steady flow of young lads going down to Australia now more than ever, I suppose. What's your own opinion on that as well, Tony?
Well, I suppose it's a shame that we are losing players to Australia. The best of luck to these young lads. They're quite entitled to go and play where they want. They're top athletes, whether they play Munster rugby, soccer with Cork City, whether they play football with Cork or hurling with Cork. I wish them all the best of luck, and it's their choice. All you can do is look after them when they're young, try and teach them how to play football and hurling the right way, and it's up to them in the end of the day to make their choice. I think if we look after them well and we show them the right way to play our games, there's a lot more to playing hurling and football than just playing the games. There's a huge community spirit, there's a huge family involvement, there's a lot of history and a lot involved in Gaelic football that keeps you going for the rest of your life. It's not just a game, it's more than a game.
Yeah, no, just very finally, Tony, there's been a lot of talk recently about this ban on collective training for inter-county teams until the new year. Some people think it actually has a detrimental effect on players. What do you think yourself?
I don't know really. I suppose you have to look after clubs. Like I'm just back now after an underage game in the wind and the rain, and we still have to play championship in most places this time of the year. You have to look after the clubs as well. The clubs are vital to. You have to be so lucky to play inter-county football. And it's only the elite play. But the J is not just about the elite player, it's about all the rest of the players that are there. And you must look after all these guys. Now, a ban, I'm not sure of having a ban, because you must train, you must do all your exercises, and you must keep your fitness and core strength up when you're off during the winter. But any inter-county player worth his salt will do that anyway. They're going to do that. They train 3 or 4 days a week. I met an inter-county player that played with Cork there recently at a launch of a book, and I said, I suppose you're taking a break now. I am, he said, I'm only training 4 days a week at the moment in the gym. Like when we were playing, we didn't train 4 days a week ever. The whole thing has gone to a new level of professionalism and a new attitude. The only thing I hope is that they're enjoying it. I hope they're having fun, and I hope that when they're finished and look back, that it will not just be Munster and All-Ireland medals that they look back on and say, listen, this is what it was all about. I hope that they're actually enjoying it, because it sounds to me like a lot of hard work, to be honest with you.
Cork's Red FM.